you know, for me, it's kind of the dream has always been to become an artist in my own right and do photography. I'm from Kent, which is just south of London, the next county down. So yeah, I always lived in the southeast and then studied down by the coast in the southwest. Yeah, I mean, I always link it to kind of the discovery of my mum's like back issues of Time magazine and National Geographic, and just seeing the photography in there. And I lived in kind of the middle of nowhere, so she gave me a camera and I just went off and started taking pictures. As I came to the end of my school years and thinking about what I wanted to do, there was no real calling other than photography, and up until that point it'd just been a hobby, and then I sort of looked at going to college and started taking it a bit more seriously when I was, I suppose, about 18. For me, it's always really been about the personal work, and the career-driven stuff has been kind of an avenue towards doing more of that. But equally, you know, that probably when I was looking at photography as a kid, when it first inspired me, it was probably the assignment-driven stuff that you know, got me into photography, and you know, happy doing either. I think, you know, being British and eccentricity kind of go together. I think there's a great rich history of the English eccentric, and you know, although Americans have kind of put their own stamp on that, and probably if you went to America, finding kind of eccentric people would be a lot easier. You know, it's less hidden and it's more celebrated, and whereas over here it's more the hermits and the people that are out in the countryside. And I've always wanted to do things about where I'm from, but I've always wanted to make work about England and Britain. And yeah, coming from the countryside and somewhere that's very out in the middle of nowhere is sort of quite an isolating experience. And I always describe myself as shy, but I don't think I am shy. I quite enjoy being kind of alone, and I think that's from my upbringing. Was that, you know, I'd go a long time without seeing friends because they lived a 2-mile car drive away. Then coming to London after that, you know, 20 odd years of being in isolated environments, and you can't leave your front door without meeting someone. And I think I take it for granted a lot now. You know, London's kind of such a multicultural, busy, you know, crammed environment, that when you move here, it's quite inspiring, and you see things and you're like, wow, I want to photograph that, I want to photograph that. Whereas now I really take it for granted, and probably am a bit more cynical about it. But now I kind of long to get away, really, to make personal work now, and kind of looking further afield and to the kind of borderlands of England and Scotland and Ireland and things like that.